What's up? I'm on Rohan, all that good stuff. My day is going pretty good. Sorry, I gotta turn down my music. I forgot I had it up. You can always leave a comment on that. Granted, you may not be able to see the chat currently, but later on I will make sure I address it if there is any, and all of that. Hopefully your day's going good though. You can always leave a comment on that if you wish. It's up to you how it is you respond, regardless what it is that you happen and need to respond. Does it involve love? Does it not? It doesn't really matter which it is upon this spot. Always searching for something. The only question is, in your search, what is that something? And only you decide what it is that is your standard. For what it is you search for in your standard. As far as that may go. The only question is, do you even know? Have you taken the time to be able to answer that? If not, then why is it you cannot answer that? Maybe mixed feelings. Of course, it is up to you on how it is that you sort your feelings. Only you decide that. Will you act upon something good or bad? Will you wish for more? Will you do everything you possibly can so you can get what it is that you wish that happens to be more? Or will you not? Only you. Only you decide that upon this spot. But hypothetically, I'll ask a quick question. What happens if there's another equation to this question? What if there is one that desires, willing to do certain things that are, under certain circumstances, not the right thing to do? Under most, under any circumstances. Meaning, if it is that you make this decision, and another thinks it should be a different decision, may have big influence in their way, whatever it may be. But why is it that their result should you see? That is my question. If it is that you have decided, and you have taken every action to prove that you have decided, and the other does not accept, then what is the moral standing upon that? If it is, you've decided. But another discredits what it is that you, and only you, can have that authority and ability to do so. Do they have the ability to tell you no? For it is your life, is it not? So what authority do they have to speak for you upon this spot? That's my question. Now, if it is you made a bad decision, I can understand that. But what happens if it is the best possible? Regardless of anything else that is possible. Even with reviewing under specific ways that are able to be done as it is you are reviewing. Then what? Do you stand for what it is? Do you leave it alone? Or do you prove that their actions and other things mean nothing for the end result? It is as if they are gone. That's a deep question, is it not? It's a hypothetical question, because currently, at least as it is that I speak, there is no way to change such things. At least as far as certain things. Would you stand for it, though? Would you prove upon the fact, regardless what they try with that, they lose? And make sure upon the fact, regardless of their actions, they lose. I will not fully reference what it is I speak, but I will reference one thing of what it is I speak. One, upon a character, upon a game that is not on, or a name that happens to be on this game I can be on. There was a reference that was spoke. Makes yourself very well known. For those that can see, you will know the exact reference that was made by me. For those that cannot, you will be clueless upon what it is I speak upon this spot. For the ones that do such as this, do not forget, there are forces beyond what it is you can do with that. Or do you need to be reminded of that? But say there was a way for you to manipulate. Would you stand for it? Or would you not? Only you decide. With your strength, that is, projected from many aspects that you may not know. Maybe certain things uniquely you can show that are beyond what it is that such things can show. And only you decide, regardless if it is that they have chosen that they wish to decide. Only other thing I will say with this, with relationship, do you count this? Whatever, or whoever it may be. Only you decide if it is a repeat of last time, or if it is not. Only you decide. Was it good? Was it bad? Maybe lessons, for if it was bad. Maybe if it is that you did not open up enough as you needed. Maybe now you might think, when one's wanted commitment, did you make them see that you had what it is, that when it is they asked or acquired, you showed all that was and can be required. Are you willing to make that decision? Or is it something that you refuse within that decision? A level of trust. You must learn this level and show it. Say you might have a new relationship with someone. Have you showed that trust with that someone? Or have you not? Some, depending on what it is they seek. Trust is something that some, depending on what it is you seek, do not care. But others, from the moment they meet, that is the only thing they care. If it is not there, then it is not you get what it is you seek. But of course, you are the only one that decides if they are strong or if they are meek. And what it is, for what it is you seek. For everyone has a standard, do they not? If they do not meet it, where do they fall? Ones that under the standard, they are less and they fall. Not able to achieve what it is they wish, regardless what it is they wish to get. Regardless how or where or when. Without meeting this standard, they cannot and will not win. As far as what it is they seek. Some have standards that others would consider to be weak, less than what it is they should be. For they think something that they wish and they seek should be given to one that is less and weak. A rare breed, I would say. One that has a moral code that is beyond most upon this day. But only you decide upon where it is that is yours as far as that. But let me hypothetically ask you a question with that. If it is that your standard is low, let me ask you this. With a feeling that should be more than what it is, when your standard is low, how long does it last when you choose to do this? A fleeting moment that only within that exact moment do you feel. Is that why you search for more? What happens if your standard is higher? How long does it last? Is the feeling higher? Is it beyond what you could ever comprehend, having a less expectedness of what it is you seek? A feeling that continues a day after, and for as long as you decide, for that how long it lasts after. Years, months, or decades, or even beyond a mere decade. But yet you seek a feeling that lasts for a single day? Hmm. You decide if it is that it lasts for just a single day. You're the one that chooses if it is that it is just freely given away. So if it is your standard is lower, may have more. But let me ask you this. Sometimes, you ever hear the term less is more? In case you do not know what it is I speak. How many people have you been with in the current week? What happens if it is you're with the same for a decade or more? Do you not love them and cherish it even more? The feeling does not go away in a single day. For upon this day, you have found the needle in the stack of hay. A fleeting moment from day to day. Do you not wish for it to last longer than a single day? Then why is it that your standard for when it is you give it away is less than a single day? Do you always chase after it if it is that principle you follow? But for one that wishes for this particular one that you see as special to follow, it will last as long as the one chooses to follow. Decades. More than that. Can be for your entire life, if you wish to know that fact. Happiness that continues to grow, not one with a single moment. It fleets and goes. Only you decide if it lasts for a whole life, or only after that exact moment does it last. Do you wish it to last? Or do you wish it for it to go away fast? Kind of an oxymoron with that question, is it not? Do you know what that is? It's something that makes no sense. It contradicts itself. Kinda sounds familiar. Well, something that I know. Will not say what it is. But for certain groups, they will know. I'll give a small hint of it, though. A house divided cannot stand. As you are a group, what is it that you stand? You send as a single, do you not? Then why so many upon this spot? Only you decide. Do you wish to just get the feeling and set it aside? Are you scared to feel? My main question is that that ideology or thought or idea of thinking. What do you wish to accomplish? You may be happy in that moment, but in the next you'll be searching for it again. Why not have it from day to day, from the start to the end? Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't to me. But only you decide what it is that you search for and what it is you see. If it is that you might be scared to love, scared that you might be broken or hurt again, let me ask you this. How many opportunities have you lost living in the past? You could be happier now than you were then if you were just to try again. It's part of what it is that happens. Yes. Well, what can you learn? Learn from this. You know what it is you do and do not like. You know from your partner what it is that you like, what it is you do not. But if you give freely away, what kind of things can you learn? Do you feel empty? Do you feel the feeling once it's gone, you feel empty? There's a reason why, my friend. There's supposed to be a connection there. You do not have it from the start or the end. It is not fulfilling for what it is you seek. But of course, only you decide if it is the one you seek. Now, within the same subject, but slightly different within the same subject. Now, as far as what it is you might wish to try to do, have you decided what it is that you will do? Is there happiness? Is there joy? Is it every day as if it is a new toy? Enjoy doing what it is that you do with a passion that is felt and seen by you and the ones that watch as it is that you currently do. Do you push your limits because for you to become better in that field you must push your limits? Only you decide this. Have you taken this time to decide this? Have you not? Your results and how far you can go can prove that upon this spot. Try hard enough, it will be done. Regardless of what it is that you wish to have been done. Will you allow another to get in your way? One that even if they do not have the authority or ability to say, for it is your life, and your life alone, for who is it in that aspect can say? Now, keep in mind, at certain times, there might be another that has a lot to say. Maybe a partner, or an important factor in that day. But the question with this is, do they wish for you to succeed, or do they not, for only failure they wish to see? Only you decide if that will be. If it is that case, well then, it's fairly easy to know what it is you need to do in this place. There's a wall that stands there, that technically speaking, like the walls of Jericho, should not stand there. May take you time. But are you faithful and believe for what it is you wish in that time? Your actions prove such things. Only you decide. If you are one that does not settle for anything less than what you have decided you will settle, that is what it is you will get. Ask all that have success and ask them how it is they happen to get. They did not settle for what it is. For every no that you get, it is only one closer to a yes you happen to get. Within limits, of course. If another already does what it is that you wish, then you must accept this. But does not mean you cannot learn from it. Maybe you can see what it is you did wrong to learn from it. That way, the next, instead of a no, a yes you will get upon that day. At points, it is a no that you must take. It depends on who it is and what standards they have. Depends on the no that you must take. Say if their standards are far beyond what it is that most expect, then no is the only answer you will get. If it is, if yours is similar or less than what most have, maybe yes will be the second answer you get. Maybe the third, maybe the fourth, maybe the fifth or the sixth, or the seventh, to the 10th. It just depends on what level you must be at for that yes. And of course, only you decide that. By now, you should understand that. Of course. May or may not have noticed. I always reinforce what it is I say. With that specific title I say. Do you know why I do that? It's called reinforced speaking. For every time you say that, you say something different. To prove your fact, it's kind of like putting a title and then your little dots in between. Number one, go through that. Go back to the title. Number two, go back to the title. Number three, go back to the title. Number four, so on and so on. Figured I'd explain that in case ones might wonder, why does he always say that again and again? I'm reinforcing upon my subject, and it also reminds you. So my question is, as it is, I just told you that. Do you know of anything I just said after I said that? Did you pay attention or did you not? That's my current question upon this spot. It's only up to you if you do. Do you wish to see some growth? Now notice I spoke of multiple areas too. First of all, do not allow someone else other than you to control what happens in your life. Unless it is that they are allotted, like, say, your parents, or a guardian, or something in the lines of that. Then I spoke to a specific group of people that I've been trying to speak to, or they've been trying to speak to me. And now I'm speaking to someone else that wishes growth in their life. But think that they are not the one that happens to have the right to decide. You are more than your circumstance, but only you decide if it is that you are more than that. Or if you fall under the normal category, that you accept what it is that you see and you do absolutely nothing to change any result. Accept it for what it is. You fight for nothing. Do you have anything worth fighting for? You're the one that decides that, too, by the way. Do you have a girl that you're willing to fight for? Do you have a dream that you're willing to fight for? Do you have an ambition of something that you wish to do with your life? Or are you just going to be happy with what it is that you get? At least you think that. But every time it comes up, there's a sore that comes up. An injury that you did not do what it is that you wanted to do. So, every time you are reminded, you get defensive because it is that you are reminded. You are the one that decides this. Do not blame another or circumstance. Hate to inform you, but also I love to inform you this. Under every circumstance, you have control over the result. Only you can decide this. Do you take that answer and say, nope, I'm not taking it? No. I set out for this. That is the only thing I get, and I do not care what stands in my way. I get it. Or I will tear down the wall until I get it. Which one applies to you? I'm okay with it. Whatever. Then you're unhappy with what it is you got. Who's to blame? Only you decide this. If you'll settle for nothing less than, and you push forward to get that, what will you get compared to someone that settles, that's good enough? You want good enough or exactly what you want? Which one is it? Only you decide. Good enough is below your standard, by the way. Just want to remind you of that. So when you're getting less than what it is that you want and you complain about it, well, you're the one decided. Why complain about something that you decided and you've done nothing about? You can complain about it all you want, but until there's actions to prove that you are actually willing to fight for it, you will not get it. Ask anyone that has been successful in what it is they want, and they will tell you that. Do you think McDonald's would be McDonald's if they did the same thing? Do you think Walmart would be Walmart if they did the same thing? Do you think Chick-fil-A would be Chick-fil-A? Do you think Taco Bell would be Taco Bell? You think Tyson would be Tyson? Do you think Chevy would be Chevy? Do you think Ford would be Ford? No, they wouldn't. Would they? So what's the question that you should be asking? What's the difference between these establishments and me? Do they settle less? Or do they set out and regardless they get? Do they take steps back as well? How much progress do you make if you're doing this? Every time you take and say, oh, well, I'm okay with this. This is what you're doing. Just so you know. And then you have to do this. You have to chase back after it. We started way over here, by the way. You notice how long it took me to get over here? I wonder if that applies to your aspirations and the things that you settle less for. So you stepping back all the way from where I am right now to over there. How much time is that? No matter what it is that you're seeking, say it's this one right here. That's your dream and aspiration. If you go this way or this way, are you going towards it or are you going away? You have to head in that direction, don't you? You can't go this way. Can't hit your target. Can't go this way. You can't hit your target. You have to go this way. Only you decide that, by the way. So when your target's this, or say this one, are you going to do this? Not even face your target. Don't get very far when you do that, do you? And you wonder why it is that you're upset. Or you're aggravated in that situation. You're not facing your target, my friend. How do you expect to get results in the end? It's not hard to understand. You're the one that decides if it is that you get what it is that you're seeking or you don't. So when it is that it adds up that you don't, do not blame another, for they are not the one that made the decision. You are. You decide if a circumstance is something that affects what it is that you wish to get. One that has a will have a way. Regardless of what others try to do or say. They don't accept anything less than. You want to know what the mentality you must have? This can be applied in your day-to-day life, regardless what it is. Think of a bodybuilder. A champion one, by the way. One that wins, no matter what it is. Now, do they settle for less? Or do they always more do they seek and try to get? They have to be the best, don't they? Or an athlete of any kind, they have to be, or they will not win. Same thing applies to your life. It's not hard to understand that. If you're not willing to put in the effort, well, you won't get the reward from it, will you not? Are you willing to put it in? Only you are the one that decides this. So my question is, have you decided this, or have you not? Maybe you don't know where to start. Maybe do research. It's easy to find out. What do you wish to achieve? Maybe a relationship? Well, you must first have the trust that the other sees. By how it is that you act and how it is that they perceive. If it is that they might have had a bad relationship before, it will be harder than it was for one that did not. While we're on the subject of relationship upon this spot, do you have a relationship with who or what you call your lover? No matter what it is that you happen to call your lover, you decide if you do or not. Like what it is that you have a passion for upon this spot. How much time do you spend with them? How much time do you not? Is there trust between the both of you upon this spot? Is it a feeling that never goes away, regardless if it is that you are successful or you fail upon that day? Are they there to pick you up and remind you of things that you might have done before? It shows, yes, you might have points you must grow, but you have already shown that you are more. For me, this becomes much easier. Do you wish to know why this is easier? I have a record. Do you? Think of what it is that you might be listening or watching right now. Do you realize how many of these I have done? Permanently there, for if it is I have a bad one, I can be reminded of when it is I happen to have opposite than a bad one. You have your good and bad days, yes. But you are the one that decides if this affects you or not. Push forward, or do you have doubt and just stop? You never know. You may be not recording what it is you do properly. In some cases, only with this kind of practice can you see your progress properly or be reminded of it when it is that you need to be reminded of it. It's like a supervisor at any place that you work. All that extra paperwork that they have to do as it is that you have to physically work. Do you know what it is they do? They keep a record of what it is that you do. Did it ever make you ponder? Or even start to wonder, what if it is that I were to do that for myself? For the aspiration that I wish to achieve myself. In some way or another. Oh man, I'm not having any progress. It's what you're thinking, right? What if you had something to prove that you were wrong or right? You would know what it is that you need to change, or what it is that needs to remain the same. Only you are the one that decides if it is that you can see such things as that. Do you hold some kind of record that you are able to access that? Regardless if it may be a diary or copies of what it is that you do, or merely a video journal by you, or notes, or whatever it may be, however it is. That you wish to have this record be seen. In fact, do you wish to know where I learned that trick about that? I play guitar as well, by the way. There was something that someone said once, and I also wanted to write something as well. And there was two things that were in common. And then when you look at success stories, then all of a sudden it's plain and obvious. Every single one keeps their records and it is obvious. Do you? But of course, if it is that you choose to, that is entirely up to you. Oh, it looks like I need to take an intermission. Great time for you to do that as well. Great time to think of comments and other things like that. Other thing that I will mention is, if you like my motivational poetry, it is also available under Gaming with Knack, Inspirations of a Gamer. And for these videos that are put in the intermission, such as this, and these intermissions are the only places you will be able to see these videos. Now, when it is that you are looking for love, do you know what strikes your interest when it is you're looking for this love? Are you able to describe it? Do you know when it is that you happen to find it? Good questions to ask. Good questions to find the answer to, even if you do not ask. To be lonely is not that fun, but can be difficult as it is you wish to search for that one. Maybe is there one that you happen to be scared to ask? Because you think they'll just turn you away fast. Never hurts to ask. You never know unless it is that you happen to ask. Never know if it is not that you explore. How is it you can find something new if you do not look? Lots of times it's required for you to look in order for you to find. Of course, you must look, but you also must know what it is you wish to find. Is it by appearance? Is it by how it is they act, minus the appearance? At least to a point, that is. Which one is it for you in the love that you search? Not always easy to find the answer as it is that you choose to search. Not always easy to know what it is you look for either. Have you ever thought to answer the question before? You know that you search, But do you know what the qualifications are, as it is you choose to search? Good questions to ask. Is it that maybe at times you might have something that makes it hard for you to find at times? Standards that are too high. Many missed opportunities. Maybe they have, because of this, gone by. Could have had everything except for one standard you might have had. Of course, you must still have standards upon what it is that you wish. Doesn't mean you can hinder or not hinder your progress in this. Can you define what it is you search for? Can you not? Do you even have any idea what it is you search for? As far as the subject, that is love, you know that. That is the only thing you happen to know for most. Some don't even know the qualifications. That, for the ones they judge them by that, by the most part as far as that goes. But for these qualifications, do they know? It's a good reason to know why and what. Because then, the missed opportunities, you know the why and what. But if you don't take time to notice such things, so many opportunities you miss because of these things. Do you know what it is that catches your interest? Do you know what it is that you're looking for besides such things that catch your interest? Things that are deeper than the outside skin. Ones by personality or knowing how it is they are. You know what it is you search for there. At that point, that is a crucial part, just in there. And we'll find out if it is that you are similar, if you agree or not. We'll determine if you have arguments a lot. We'll determine on so many things. Cannot always judge it from the outside that you happen to see. For that does not determine on how well you get along, does not determine on the length of your relationship and how long. So what is it that catches your interest in both? Willing to take a few compromises, if you must, as far as certain subjects. Do you know what it is you search for? Do you know how to ask questions? To almost instantly know if you are, or they are, the one you search for? Of course, other things must be good as well. But these things, behind closed doors, these dwell. We'll not get into that. But other things you need to think of in the love search. I'm sure you know that. So how is it that you choose to judge things like this? Do you even know how to answer any questions as far as what I've just asked? You'll notice in most of my videos, even ones other than this, I ask questions. There's a reason why I ask. Because if it is that you can answer that, then you know which direction you need to go after you answer that. Because when questions are raised, the search for the answer is the race. Faster you can figure it out and solve it. The faster you can have the situation that you wish to have because you have solved it. So my question is, as far as your love that you wish to seek, do you know the answers? As far as what it is you seek, do you know what it is that attracts you to someone? We'll not get into too many specifics, but within your search, the more you know these specifics, the more you can know by merely a few questions what it is that happened to show. Oh, it looks like all my time's out for this. So, for what it is that you seek, are you able to see what it is that you seek? Or do you not? Do you run away from it? Only you decide that upon this spot. Very good question, as far as that goes. Makes me wonder, at this point, do you even know what it is that you seek? Do you see the dot on the map, just like me? Do you see it and walk away? Only you decide that upon this day. But for you to fully answer that question, you must know what it is you seek. Otherwise, you cannot see. You have to cancel your efforts because you picked the wrong thing within your efforts. For one that truthfully knows, only you are the one that truthfully knows. But of course, you are the only one that could know that. With the result you get, are you happy with that? There's an easy way to change that. Pursue without prejudice only what you wish to get. That is the only thing you give prejudice. If you settle for less, but if you do not, then you do not settle for this prejudice upon this spot. Prejudice from another, from what they say, you cannot get. The only prejudice you should listen to is yourself. Otherwise, you will not get what it is that within yourself you truthfully wish to get. Does not always mean you get what it is you wish, but at least you can say that you aimed for the stars with this. It is better to aim high and miss than aim low and less you get. For ones that do this, they do not get the full extent. They only get a portion of what it is they truthfully can get, or achieve, or the happiness that they happen to seek. Regardless of what it is that they seek. Wish happiness in a relationship, but yet you put no effort? I wonder, will you get happiness if you do not put any effort? Granted, I know you can get sadness as well, but there is still a lesson to be learned with this as well. For if it is that you say that you have put in everything that you can, then is there anything that you regret? The effort weighs less, weighs pounds. Do you wish to know what regret weighs? In comparison, at the end of your days, it weighs tons compared to your pounds. Which would you rather have? Small amount of pounds or a ton? You are the one that decides if it is only pounds or tons. Crucial moment, is it not? Can you say you gave 100% or less than that? If you put in your effort, then fine. Just means you can learn what to do or not to do for the next time. As far as your happiness or what it is you pursue, do you not know there is a needle in a haystack that is searched by you? If you don't, will you get something that you don't wish to get? If you're not looking for the rarity, what is it that you get when it is not you look for the rarity? You look for less than what it is that is the best. You settle for something that is average and accepted for the rest. And yet, you declare or say, for in life, I wish the best. For the most part, only 2% will understand that mere phrase. And you wonder why 2% control most of the money flow. And are successful. In all meanings of the word. Regardless how it is that you wish to define that specific word. Only you decide. For these 2% I speak of, what did they decide compared to the other 98%? I'll tell you the difference. I'm okay with that. Compared to, nope, I settled for this and this alone. Nothing else doesn't matter. Don't care what I gotta go through. Don't care upon the struggle. Just means I become stronger. I have a bigger story upon the struggle. Go ahead, tell me I can't do something. I prove to you that, and every time you say that, you will regret the very moment you said that. For champions that break rules of physics and break records that have stood for more than what most know or able to comprehend that they have stood. For settling for nothing but less, the result of you breaking the record. For this, the greatness you possess. For the ones that choose to submit to this, less than the record is what you will get. For it is all about your mindset. But only you decide this. Wish to accomplish great things? Think beyond what it is that you see as great things. Otherwise, something greater you will not possess. And you cannot manifest. Do you know what it means to manifest? It means to make something that is not currently seen be seen. If you have a mentality that only this and only this will I see, eventually, what do you think you will see? May take a little bit of time to make that be, yes. But these ones that broke records, like for example, they spoke of a record that stands as far as one thing. This year at the Super Bowl, by the way. Actually, you realize how many records were broke that day? Longest known field goal attempt. Twice. You ever think of that? 2 times in a single game. What were they thinking? That we're the same. Like right now, as we speak, there has never been a team that 3 years in a row a champion they see. Did you know that? They spoke it. There's never been anyone to win a Super Bowl 3 times in a row. Hmm. Makes me wonder. So, let me ask you this. Is there anything that has never been accomplished by anyone that you believe you can? Only you decide if it is that you can. Amazing feats have been done. Even superhuman strength as well, just because they believed upon the fact. You ever see those stories of people being able to do things that normally their body could not achieve? Let me ask you this. What was different that made it to where they can achieve? Tell you the main thing. I can assure you this. They didn't do this. I cannot do. That make any sense to you? So what is it that you think that you cannot do? Why? Do you think it's not possible? Then it is not. Do you think it is? Do you wish to be more? Do you not realize that when you decide if you can or cannot, you send body signals, subconscious, and ones that are not? What does your body do? It finds a way to make that possible, does it not? If you think you can't do something, then that is what it is. And that is what it will be. And that is the result that you will see. But if you decide, regardless of the obstacle that stands before me, mountain or as small as an anthill, it does not matter which one it is, you will stomp on it as if it is an anthill. For the mere fact that you believe and you show the actions that you do. This result, it is shown by you. A crucial moment that you must decide. But guess what? Only you are the one that is able to decide. Only you determine your happiness as well, by the way. There's a reason why I say this, and I can prove it upon this day. Say there's something that makes you unhappy. Do you separate yourself from that because it makes you unhappy? Or do you deal with it? If it is you choose to deal with it, then how is that different? If you decide and declare and show and demonstration that any other cannot stand, then what will it be? The decision is up to you. It really is. You'd be surprised on what you can accomplish if it is that you do not take no or a setback, which, speaking of that, do you have any setbacks? If you do not, do you know what that reveals about you? You do not stand for anything, for you do not have a standard, for you will accept anything. You ever think about that for a minute? If you have a setback, then that means that you actually wish to achieve something. If you do not, then what is it that you stand for upon this spot? Are you disappointed in something? You have a standard in whatever that is. That something. Then why do you not fight for it? For that feeling of you being disappointed. It's your body and your mind trying to alert you. You should fight for it. But of course, only you are the one to decide. The only question is, have you taken the time to decide? This can go however it is you wish it to. Relationship, a love life, your dream, your aspiration, whatever it is. Say you're searching for one that is important to you. Do you have standards that must be met by you? If they're not, what do you do upon this spot? Do you settle? Do you not? I can't get what it is I wish. Now, let me ask you this. If you settle with this, compared to someone who does not, granted, you may have more attempts, but who fails in this attempt? This one that doesn't settle. Only when they find that specific one will they actually settle. Right? Now, granted, compromises sometimes have to be made. If it is that your standards are way too high for them to even be made. But it gives you a baseline, does it not? Hmm. Did you know a song cannot really flow in a certain way if there is no baseline? Do you know why that is? It's very similar to the drum set. It is. You want to know how? It is the heartbeat of the song. Is it not? Every single move or sound that is made is either complemented or mimicked or reinforced by. Take a song sometime, separate the bass, and listen to it one time. Then listen to when it is the bass is there. You'd be surprised of how it connects with you and how the flow of the song entirely changes. So they're the reason why it's the heartbeat of the song, by the way, because it goes along with and incorporates with the kick drum. Does it not? Do you not know? The bass and the drum are the heartbeat of the song. Without them, do you have a song? Now, I imagine you're thinking, how does that apply to what you have just said? It's fairly simple. This principle, think of the bass drum and the bass as far as what it is that you will not compromise in this place. Without them, the song is dead, is it not? Cannot be called a song if the heartbeat is not there. Is that true or not? You ever notice baseline, base standards? You want to know also another thing that is specifically referenced, if it is you do research on the instrument bass? Another thing that you will hear, it is the core of the band. Core standards. Funny how that works, huh? Complements the guitar and the drums at the same time. And keeps root time. And I will also say this. As far as this, when somebody has a decent system, what is the first thing you hear from their system? Goes the longest. Goes through everything. For it can last the longest. Sounds a lot like someone that does not take no for an answer. That has a standard of what it is they will take for their answer. Does it not? And the hardest to get rid of. Is it not? So, do you, in what it is you do or what it is that you seek, when people happen to meet, is it the bass or is it not? Moving everything that does not align with what it is you wish to have. You realize bass vibrates stuff to where it actually moves? Mountain stands in your way. I wonder, with a low enough frequency and loud enough, can you make a mountain move? But wait, the bass is your core standards that you do not let anything other than your standards. You ever think about that for a few seconds? So what will you not take? What will you not accept? Only you decide. So what is your base belief? Funny part about it is, I'm not talking about the instrument. Even though it still references the instrument. Do you settle for less? Or do you not? You're the one that decides that upon this spot. Only you decide. The only question is, with your actions, how can you prove that you have happened to decide? Buckling down, choosing to never back down. For it is that I have set out for what it is I wish. Nothing less. Will I pursue or will I get? No matter what consequence of what another wishes for me to get. The only thing I set out for is what I will get. Regardless for what it is I need to go through. For I have decided, regardless, I will win for what it is I go through. Nothing can stand in the way of the one that does not back down. For anything that stands before them, it will crash to the ground. Regardless if it is flesh or not. For even upon these spots, some do not know. Many evidences for them, even though they deny the fact it has shown. That more than what it is that his flesh fights against. For regardless, if you have a great baseline, there is none that can stand against. For all that rattles with the baseline that will not settle. No mountain cannot be moved, for you choose them not to settle. No matter how it is that you wish to do so, as long as you do it within a righteous means. For that right you do so. Or it is chosen by you not to. I settle for less than what it is. I will back up, no matter for what it is. I will never take and pursue for more. No matter what, I will back up because I wish to not have more. Which of the two do you wish to have? Only you decide which of the two you have. One that the joy happens to last. One that the moment it happens to fleet. Instant gratification upon what it is that you think you need. Even if it is that in clear day you can hear and see what it is you wish upon that day. But when it is that the light happens to be turned on, and all the darkness happens to be gone, you will see that what it is you think you might have got is less than what it is you thought you got. For a moment that flees when you turn the light on and examine for what it is, you will notice it's gone. For it is what it is. Cannot fully look at something unless you turn on the light. For you cannot see why it is in the dark. Cannot examine it fully for what it is, if it is you choose to look in the dark. How many discoveries have ever been made in a way that there was not some kind of light shown in that day? For you cannot look at something if it is dark. But when it is that you turn on the light, it flees if it is dark. For when you turn on a light, darkness must do what? It cannot stay. Instant pleasure, no connection, and you wonder why. You wish to seek that connection. When you examine something for what it is, there must either be light being emanated from, or light being projected on. But of course, with your standards, you choose if it is that you are the light in the standards. You set yourself apart beyond all others, and have success like no others. Compared to the majority, do you wish to know what it is that is the result of the majority? 98%. Never pursue their dreams. That is the 98%. Do you wish to be the 2%? So what different is done by this 98 and the 2? But ultimately, this decision is up to you. You actively pursue or do you not? Do you think success will wait for you? Only one that chases it can catch it. Test to see if you are even able to catch it. If you try hard, then you can say that you have. If you have not, at the end of your days, you will be sad. It doesn't matter how it is that you wish to say, or how dim your light might be upon this day. You are the one that decides if it is bright or not. For you do not know that in the darkness that the light has to shows that there is a world that is not what it might seem, darker than what it is, that without your light, that another can see, you will not be able to see yourself. Questioning your beliefs? Is that a question you ask yourself? Or is that a question that you do not ask? Even for once, do not notice, but all of a sudden, wait, how did not notice? Even then, do you ask yourself, is my moral slightly off? Is that a question you ask yourself? Just because another person thinks that it is okay does not mean that it is. We'll not get into why I just said what it is, for that is my biz. But I will say this, I'm old-fashioned. Will not change. I will always remain old-fashioned. Already referenced in my previous stream what it is I just spoke of at that few seconds in this stream. But of course only you decide. But the question is, as well, with this, what inside you might have died? If your moral code says that you are able to be with a different person every single day, what does that say to someone that once you meet, you are with them for the rest of your days? What does it say about you as a person? If it is that you, do you settle for less? Or do you settle for more? Do you see it as special? Or set a value that is not valued anymore? But then that empty feeling that you get that I do not. I wonder, who is in a better spot? There's a reason why you feel that way. You already know. Do not need to tell you anything, for you already know. It is your true morals trying to show. Kinda funny if you ask me. Did not even know that, for you did not have the eyes to see. Well, that looks like all the time I have for now. Normally, I would have like the intermission. I would speak about whatever it is and ask questions or answer if there was chat, but there isn't, so I will leave it as it is. So, until next time.